Good evening. Welcome to the monthly meeting of the ASCA Board of Directors. Today is May 21st, 2026. On the call tonight is Executive Secretary Kala Jaco, First Vice President Chuck Klein, Second Vice President Ann McCabe, Treasurer Diana Williams, Secretary Tanya Johnson, Directors Sue Kelly, Jillian Ward, and myself, Jody McClellan. Next on the agenda is and I'm sorry, we are going to move the 2027 Nationals Committee appointments to the June. Director Scheit was called into work. So we are going to go to the 2027 ASCA finals judges, and that would be Chuck.
Good evening. For the 2027 finals judges, I'll run through the list. For agility, we have Pam Smith, confirmation, Heidi Mobley, Melissa Borda, Ginger Abbott, and Laurie Atkinson as the alternate. Junior handling, Gina Blair. Obedience, Laurie Rubin and Janice Dirth. Rally, Ronnie Bates, Sue Graham. Betsy Coleman is the alternate. Stock Dog, we don't have the three names yet. We have two that have accepted, and we're pending the third. So we will have to announce that at a later date or vote on that at a later date.
Thanks, Chuck. Can you go ahead and make a motion to approve?
Yes, I move to approve the list as I just read them for for finals judges for the 2027 Nationals.
And committee, we don't need a second. So motion on the table to approve the finals list, all except for stock. And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, motion passes. Thanks, Chuck. Okay, next on the list is the IT Executive Committee Portal Mover, and I'm going to ask Jill to talk about this one.
Okay, this is a new committee that has been formed with the main focus to get our arms around the exact status of the portal, the programming which is contained within the portal, and to map out a path forward for all the items that still are either in progress or have not started yet, and figure out if we can't get our arms around it to move it forward and establish some timelines. This sort of spun out of the new executive marketing committee. I don't want to go into too many details as of yet because the committee hasn't actually met yet, but the members of this committee will be Jody McClellan, myself, Sue Kelly, and Claire Thomas, who is currently the IT committee chair. The entire 350 page, which is part of the website. The website is too heavy laden with data. And so our intent is to explore all the pages, create an index, figure out what can and can't be moved to the portal behind a paywall, because not everything on our website is meant for the general public consumption, but rather for members. So there's an assessment that needs to take place, and then we will create basically a path forward to get items moved into the appropriate place, which will then lighten the load for the website. And then we will move forward with the marketing committee in assessing the website. So there's some work that needs to be done before that. At the same time, there deliverables in terms of what we need from our existing programmers and whether or not we need to obtain a new programmer, more programmers, developers. We don't know until the committee has been formed. Our first meeting will be next week. Both Jody, I just realized all of a sudden, but we have spoken to the IT chair, and she is very much in support of this. We will work together, and then we will, after our first meeting next week, the four of us will report back. Jody assigned me as project manager to this, so I will give a report electronically, and then we will have a full committee report in our June meeting.
Thanks, Jill. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Okay, we will update you next week. So we will go on to the next agenda item, and that is the April Treasurers Report. Diana.
Good evening, everyone. The April Treasurers Report showed the P&L for April had an income of $77,109.52. And after expenses, our expenses were a little bit low because we were down on employees. We had lost one of our computer. I don't have it in front of me right now, but we had lost one of our IT laborers. So our expenses were down to $48,728.05 versus last month it was a little over $63,000. That gave us a net balance of $28,381.47 for the month of April. It's interesting to note that we did not have any Aussie Times ads for the month of April. That's the first time in several months. And I did have the office manager check the receivables in the office just to ensure that, because I thought that was strange not to have any on there. In the way of cash available, our checking account, we had a little update last week, but now the checking account is down because we did have to pay our publisher for the Aussie Times. So the checking account is down to $151,797.97. The wire account is standard at $100. The savings account is $54,194.62. The AEMD is $44,089.23. I did hear from the office manager today that she has calculated the March AEMD, so we will be transferring money into that account most likely tomorrow as soon as I check the amounts. The foundation account is $22,450.72 for total cash in those accounts of $272,632.54. The Vanguard accounts were the same as I reported last week, $265,598.42. The AEMD account is $40,251.84, and the foundation account is $52,275.34. Those accounts total $348,125.60 for total cash with those accounts of $620,758.14. The 27 Nationals account dropped just a little bit. We had a member who lives in Arizona find her check that was 8 months old, and it went through the system even though 6 months had passed. So I was surprised to see that. The 26 Nationals is at $19,619.14. So it appears they've had a few sponsorships come in. And that's all I have. Are there any questions?
Diana, it's Jill. I have a question.
Okay.
I was looking at the P&L where you have the budgeted amount and just kind of seeing where we are on each of the categories percentage-wise. We're about, this reporting represents about a third of the year. And I noticed near the end under taxes, we have budgeted for the year $6,000, but we're already 118% spent. And last month it shows $5,800, I think, in the line item where each month there's about $416. So could you, unless you know off the top of your head, I don't know.
I know I don't either. I know your question to that. I've asked the office manager to find the bill for that because I wasn't aware of that bill when we had the budget. When we prepared the budget, we prepared the budget off of last year's expenses. And that's a tax bill that I was not aware of. So I've asked her to pull that and send that to me. And it may entail a phone call to the Brazo County tax. What I was told it was property taxes. And I want to compare it against the 24 taxes and the 25 taxes to see what happened because I'm not aware of that charge either. And so that is under investigation. And it's a good question because I have the same question.
And then can you also then identify what this monthly charge is? Because there's 3 months that are all the same, $416 and change. So I'd like to know I don't know very many taxes that you pay the same amount every month.
Yeah, that's the office furniture tax. You pay a tax on equipment in Texas. And so that is all of the office furniture and equipment in the office. It's a monthly tax we pay.
Okay. So
that's why that's an even number.
So I would just, obviously you'll let me know on the 5,800 or 5,200. I closed it already.
It's okay. Yeah, it's 5820, 52. Yeah, I'll let you know and I'll let everyone know about that because that was a red flag for me last month. And then with the new office manager coming on, I've asked her to look into that, to pull that and look into that. And I'll ask for an update and then I'll get involved with it too to confirm whatever I find out.
Cool. Thanks.
You're welcome. Anything else? Okay, if there's no other questions, then I make a motion to approve the April financials and also to put in the minutes of the meeting the question about the open question about the taxes that I will follow back up on that. But I make a motion to approve the April as stated.
Can I get a second, please?
I'll second.
Thank you, Sue. Okay, all those in favor of approving the April minutes as presented by Diana with the research being done on the tax payment? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Thank you, Diana.
You're welcome.
Next on the list is the IT report. Sue.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. The IT committee meets twice a month, and we've been trying to get projects going and completed. Dock jumping, importing the past results is in progress. I expect that to be completed within the next month. We have in the works auto reports for Hall of Fame Excellent and Stock Dog Kennel of Excellent, so that the office staff and Heidi don't have to manually do those anymore. And then we're working on individual registration, and we're going to be looking out at the database, the Teamworks database, and going through all the issues again to make sure that everything's there. We've done it once. I think we need to do it again. And that's all I have.
Thanks, Sue. Okay. Sorry, lost my place. Last thing on the agenda is to approve last month's email business. And can I get a motion for that, please?
I move to approve last month's email business.
And a second?
Yeah.
Chuck, got it? Okay, all those, motion to approve last month's email business, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, motion passes. And that takes care of our board meeting for the month of April. Thank you, everybody, and I hope you have a good evening.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thanks, good night.